Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to Tony the Technician's channel. Today, if you've watched my previous video, we finished up painting the engine bay as well as removing a lot of the wiring harness shrouding and stuff. Not necessarily ripping into the wiring harness and redoing it yet, but I got all the shrouding off and got the wiring harness off of the windshield, got it all separated, and the two main from the passenger side are hanging over my passenger side fender, and the main driver's side one is hanging over the driver's side fender. So everything's out of the engine bay basically, except for a few wires that come from the middle of the firewall. But other than that, before I move on any further with the wiring harness, I wanted to tape off and paint that top lip right here because it's looking pretty rough. It's faded and it just doesn't look pretty. So I want to match it to my engine bay. So we're going to start off with taping it up just like we did anything else. I had to go out and buy more tape because I'm all out. Man, do not buy tape at AutoZone or O'Reilly's. I get it, it's a good brand or whatever, Blue. They have professional 3M grade tape. That crap is expensive. This roll right here was over $7. You can get the same one from Walmart for like half the price. But Walmart's a little bit further away from me and I really needed it. And I had to get back home because I just came home from the VA and I'm actually waiting on a package that I had to sign for and didn't want to miss it, so I had to hurry back. So I ended up paying the almost $8 for this roll of tape. But whatever, not a big deal. I'm gonna go ahead and start taping this up and then we'll get into it. I'll probably add in working on the wiring harness as well, because if I just do painting this top part, the video is gonna be like 2 minutes long. Well, we're at 2 minutes now, but you know what I mean. All right, thank you guys for watching. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, comment if you have any questions, and subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Thank you. Okay, so obviously you can see I've started, but I forgot to mention the first thing you want to do, obviously, but don't forget, you want to make sure this surface is nice and clean. You want your tape to stick really well. You don't want there to be any ripples in it to where paint can get underneath onto your windshield. It's not a big deal because you could, if you do get any overspray, which you shouldn't, but if you do, you can actually take a razor blade and very carefully remove the paint. It won't scratch your windshield as long as you're careful with it. Because actually when I got this car, when they had painted it, I guess they had forgot to tape off the windshield or something when they were doing the clear coat, because right here in between the windshield wipers, where the windshield wipers wouldn't touch, there was just clear coat misted all over this, and I had to actually scrape it off. And as you can tell, there's nothing wrong with it. There's a chip in the windshield here. Oh no, that's just like tar. But there's nothing wrong with the windshield, no cuts or scrapes or anything in it. So just be very careful. Just take your time, clean off whatever surface you're going to be taping off, and the surface that you're going to be painting, you definitely want to clean that too, because you don't want to be painting over dirt and the dirt come off and there you just have missed spots. So right now I'm just running tape along the end. I have to lift up the windshield wiper, but since on these Camaros they don't actually stay up, kind of had to hold it and tape, you know, around it and then just lay it back down, because I am going to end up painting the windshield wiper arms and everything too, because they look pretty crappy. But that's as far as I've gotten so far. I'm going to go ahead and finish taping this up and we'll start priming and painting. Got everything taped up now. I did do double layers all the way across. Remember, it's always better to have more tape than it is not enough. You want to cover as much as possible. You don't want anything seeping through like the tape. Not that you should, because this is just protecting from overspray, but just in case you do accidentally hit it directly with the spray, it still shouldn't soak through. So I always double up on the most important part, which is down here at the edge, which is closest to where I'm going to be spraying. Then I also hit up both sides of the fender with tape, and I'll drape newspaper here and then cover it with newspaper all the way down to here. So basically all we'll be able to spray is this right here. But yeah, got down in here to make sure overspray doesn't come up and onto the A-pillar or anything like that. I am just going to directly spray the windshield wiper because these are garbage anyways, and I'm going to be replacing them, but I want to get all of the arm, so I'm going to make sure to spray that real good. But now I'm going to go through with some cleaner and just clean this up and vacuum up any more dust that's left behind, that's like underneath. You know, see all of this. So you want to make sure you get all of that out. You don't want to leave any dirt in here, because then your paint job is going to look like crap. So that's what I'm going to work on now. Another thing we're going to have to eventually get to is the fan that I'll be using, the hood mounts, and all of that. That's all got to be cleaned up and also painted. So that'll be another video, but that's something else I need to do. Other than that, I'm going to finish taping this off with some newspaper and we'll get into actually priming and painting. So another thing I'm going to be painting is this antenna mount. I'll probably end up removing it later on, but for now I'm going to paint it. It's pretty beat up. I'm not sure what, somebody must have beat the hell out of this thing, but it looks like crap. But in order to go around small things like this, most of the time you can get up under the lip, but you just rip off really small pieces of tape and you can kind of tuck it, as you can see, and just do very small pieces all the way around. And then I go around and put more tape on top of that just to be safe. But in order to go around small things like that, you just use small pieces of tape and overlap them a lot. But other than that, that's how you do smaller things. I'm gonna go ahead and finish taping this up. Got some of it taped up. And now that we're actually laying the newspaper, I already had this double layered, so putting the newspaper on top of it with more tape, that's triple layer. So we're extra safe here. Shouldn't have any problem with overspray or anything. But I just wanted to show you guys that real quick, and now I'm gonna move on. Got everything taped off now. Taped off all the way over to here and all the way up the windshield. We're just gonna be spraying this right here, and got the other side done as well. And remember, when laying the newspaper, you definitely want to overlap everything. Don't go right next to each other, then you take the chance of getting overspray on your windshield or whatever you're painting. So just make sure everything you do, you overlap, whether it's taping, putting newspaper, plastic, painting, whatever it is, you always overlap, just to be safe. So that's where I'm at. Now I'm about to go through with a rag and some cleaner and just clean this up and vacuum it up. And that's about it. All right, guys, so just got done priming it. Just a simple one coat over it all. It already looks a lot better. But when you're doing this, make sure you wear your gloves, eye pro, mask, well ventilated area. I got my garage open with the fan going, and make sure to cover up anything important that you have. Protect yourself from overspray. But got the primer on, waiting for it to dry, gonna give it a while, and then we'll lay the first base coat of paint. But now I'm gonna go ahead and do the antenna, which isn't a huge deal. I'm just gonna lay some primer on it, and then we'll move on to painting it once this dries. So we got the paint laid, and it looks really good, especially compared to what it did before. Made sure to get everything. Show you the other side. I think it came out really nicely. That's 2 coats of the same paint that I used for the engine bay. I do know this stuff's gonna attract dirt just because of the texture of it. So it's gonna be really hard to clean when it does get dirty, but I really like the look of it. I'm really happy with it. I'll post a picture in here as well of what it looked like before I painted this top part, so you guys can really see the difference. Okay, so I've started working on the first wiring harness, which is this bundle right here. I haven't torn into this one. That's the one that runs across from the passenger side to the driver's side. This first one, there's basically a lot of crap you can get rid of if you're switching to a carbed engine. It doesn't require any of the fuel injected stuff or the MAF sensor, EGR, or any of that good stuff. So basically, all of this taped up right here can all be removed. This is either AC stuff, it's the throttle body wires, which you don't need, the MAF relay, MAF sensor plug, all of that, which my engine doesn't use. So all of this can go away. This is just a power wire, and then you got your fan and your temp sensor. I'm not even sure if I'll need that temp sensor plug. I might be able to even get rid of that, but I'm gonna keep it just in case. So the only thing I have over here is the fan plug. And then the other thing, obviously, I have to keep the wires for my battery, but I have that taken off. That was also attached to this harness because I'm gonna clean up those wires. And that's basically it for that wiring harness, or portion of the wiring harness. Now we can start looking at this, which I won't need the EGR, I won't need this. This is for the O2 sensor. Distributor, I might have to decide if I need any wires off of this. This went to the back. I think it was the distributor, or no, this, I have to figure out what this is. I didn't tape it off. This wasn't used. These are all just a whole bunch of grounds. But other than that, it's a little bit more important because you got your fuel pump relay and the fan relay, which somebody butchered, so I'm gonna have to fix that. But other than that, main wiring harness plug. I think these were the oil pressure and oil temperature. You got your power steering, we'll keep that. The wires that ran down to the transmission, and the charcoal canister. So a majority of this will actually stay, but that harness was pretty much deleted. So that's where I am right now. Okay, I'm gonna try and explain this, but it might be a little hard to understand because there's a lot of wires here. But as I showed you guys before, these are the wires that I need. I actually had to go through and pull out this fuse from this pile because this is not used, and this is actually my fuel pump fuse because I will be using the electrical fuel pump. And then it's just the fan and the power wire that goes to the distribution block for those. And then everything else in here is like throttle body stuff, MAF sensor, O2 sensor, things like that that I won't be using. So I have it marked off, not needed. This is the passenger side stuff that is needed. And then here, all of this down here is needed. This is charcoal canister, power steering, fuel pump relay, fan relay. I got this. I kept this just in case. This is the VSS or the reverse for the trans. Not too sure which one it is, but I'm gonna keep it. These aren't needed. This is the oil pressure sending unit wires. I don't need them, but they're tied in. One wire goes down to one of the relays and it goes the other way, so I can't exactly take it out of this bundle yet. And then everything up here is from this harness that is not needed, like the other half, the O2 sensor, the EGR stuff, cold start injection connector, just stuff like that that I don't need. Now that I've got this side figured out, I can kind of run what wires I know I need, but I'm not gonna go clipping these yet. I'll most likely just hide them because I don't want to get the engine trans in and have something not connected that I need connected, and whoops, there I went and cut it before I even knew what I needed. So until I get the engine in and everything's running, I'm not gonna touch any of this, even though I don't think it's needed. You never know. You never want to go chopping up something before you know for sure. So That's it for the passenger side wiring stuff. The other side is quite a bit smaller, so I'm gonna go ahead and start working on that. But I've already cut out a lot of wires, or not cut them out, but you know, basically remove them from what I think I need. Like this entire harness is useless, as well as this all up here. So I'll just be keeping this and those couple wires over there, and of course the battery cables. But now I'm gonna move on to the other side and I'll let you guys know how that goes. So I have the power and ground wire up here from the battery that goes to like the starter and everything. And I'm just gonna clean these up real quick, and then I'm gonna show you guys the nylon braiding that I'm gonna be running. I just took a picture of it so I know where to place these keepers and everything again. But I'm just gonna clean these up now, and then we'll put the new braided stuff on. Okay, so the first one I'm gonna do is the small one. This goes to the power distribution block. The other end, I believe, goes to the alternator. Yes. So I just took the tape off on this end, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find the best size, because I have multiple different sizes of this nylon braided stuff. I'm gonna find the one that fits it the best, which is probably gonna be my smallest stuff. And I'm gonna go ahead and put it on this small one to start off with. These two right here are full circles, so you had to feed it over the ends of the wire. Whereas this brand, you can actually open it up from the side, which is pretty cool. So these are a little bit harder to put on, but they look really nice. So I'll let you guys know what it looks like after I'm done putting it on. So I got the first wire done. I used the smallest nylon braiding sleeve that I have. It fits really nicely. You just gotta expand it over the heads of the wire and then pull it down tight. And I just threw small little zip ties there at each end and clip them off. But overall, it looks really good compared to the other wires, and I'm gonna do this with every single wire in my engine bay because I want it to look really nice for the wires that you do see. So that's it. Now I'm gonna continue on with the larger battery cables, and we'll see how they look. Okay, so here she is, all done. Took a little while because these connectors that actually hold the cables together are a little bit harder to get on when you got a nylon braiding sleeve over it. So I had to actually zip tie this side because it was too thick. This side went on okay, but other than that, all the cables are tied back together the exact same way they were. Everything came out really nicely. I really like this wire loom stuff. It's a lot better than that plastic wire loom. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you like this, you can find rolls of it, you know, for $10 for like 50 feet. I mean, they got all different sizes and lengths and all of that. So thank you guys. Okay, so that's basically it as far as the wiring goes for now. What we did today, we basically tore into the passenger side two wiring harnesses and kind of decided what we needed and what we didn't. I'm not going to be removing any of the wiring yet. I'm going to wait until I get everything in and the engine's running good until I actually go in and remove the wires that I decided not to, because I don't want to cut something out that I still need. So we got that stuff basically separated, and then I took the battery cables and the starter cable and all that, and I put the new wire loom over it, which is the nylon braided stuff instead of the plastic stuff, and it's a lot nicer. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I also painted underneath the windshield, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that thumbs up, comment if you have any questions, and subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Thank you guys once again for watching. We're at almost 750 subscribers now, and once I hit 1,000, we will be doing another gift giveaway. And yeah, thank you guys once again. See you next time.